Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. My name is Marlena Lester, and I'm the Director of Advising here within the College of Engineering. Today, we are going to do a question and answer session about our peer mentoring program. This is part of our College of Engineering new student orientation process that we refer to as the virtual academic advising and course registration. So, welcome if you're here live, and if you're watching the recording, thanks so much for being with us. I'm going to turn over to my colleague Yasmin and let you do your proper introduction and then tell us a little bit more about peer mentoring.
So much, Marlena. Hi everybody, and I hope everybody can hear me because sometimes my computer does mute me automatically. Um, but my name is Yasmin Becerra Montaño. I currently serve as the Assistant Director for SEED undergraduate student programs. I currently oversee the peer mentoring program as well as support Galileo and Hypatia living and learning programs. And then support overall our first year and upper class students that go through various programs that we have within our office. Like Marlena said today, I will be going over the SEED peer mentoring program and hopefully be able to answer some questions that you might have at the end. And then if you don't have any questions, I'll share my email and then you can also email me as well, and I'll answer those accordingly once I get them. So, to start off, what is the peer mentoring program? So essentially, the peer mentoring program is a mentoring program that supports first-year College of Engineering students. We do this through various ways. So the first and obvious way is that we partner you up with a group of anywhere from 10 to 12 other first-year students that are considered mentees or peers. And then we give you to one peer mentor. That peer mentor is essentially an upper class student. That could be anywhere sophomore, junior, senior, or super senior, depending on the program that they're in. The way that we group our students is really through personal interest. So that's hobbies outside or interests outside of engineering, growth areas that could be anywhere from time management. Let's say that you are a student or your student is wanting to make sure that they are supported and they build their skills within time management, within seeking resources that are here at Virginia Tech or within the College of Engineering. Maybe they're a first year or a first generation student and they need some additional support through that growth area, or that transition from high school into college can be tough for some of our students. So we want to make sure that we support them in that way. Essentially, all of these groups that are created, all of these mentor-mentee groups that are created will have all of the support, but we like to group them into smaller groups with some more common areas. So one, they can form an immediate bond within their 10 to 12 peers, but also have that connection within their peer mentor. Again, mentor group size is anywhere from 10 to 12. I usually like to make them on the lower end, so anywhere from 8 to 10. But it could be up to 12 first year students to each mentor. Some of the topics or resources that peer mentors will cover throughout your first year in the peer mentoring program will be networking with faculty or other peers, undergraduate research, student organizations, especially the ones that are pertaining to the College of Engineering, how to become part of a design team or what a design team even means, applying to internship, co-ops, or other opportunities, prepping for career fairs, because we have amazing career fairs here at Virginia Tech. The Virginia Tech 101, so just getting familiarized with what a Hokie is, what it means to be on campus, the ins and outs of classes and what courses or faculty members are pertaining to each course, and then your Virginia Tech general resources. So that could be anywhere from Hokie Wellness, Cook Counseling, Career and Professional Development, or other like Student Success Center. So our structure is it's a year-long mentoring structure. So for the first 10 weeks, starting the first week of classes, you will do weekly meetings with your peer mentor and mentee groups. These are required meetings because if students don't go to these meetings, essentially the peer mentoring program won't work. So it does take a little bit of time out of a student's usually schedule, but what I usually tell my peer mentors is that they need to pick a time where it works, hopefully for everyone. They're allowed to do a big group meeting in the beginning, or if for some reason a mentee is very busy or doesn't have the time based on their other peers, then they can individually meet with their mentor, but they do have to meet at least once a week for the first 10 weeks of the fall of 2025 semester. After the 10 weeks, we will expect mentors and mentees to meet monthly because we hopefully know that you already have everything in control, but you will still need that additional support. So we require all these groups to meet monthly for the month of November and also for December, even though December is a very short month. And then going into the spring of 2026, you will also meet monthly as well. We do have exclusive events that cover the following topics. So that is anywhere from professional development. We do a undergraduate research opportunity exploration event, as well as we do a career fair prep event for career fairs that we have going on at Virginia Tech. We do major and minor exploration. We also like to go on the social side aspect because a student is here for their academics, but we also want to make sure that they are striving socially as well, so they can come back year after year and graduate from Virginia Tech, and additional academic support. These exclusive events are required for mentees and mentors to go. We usually like for mentors to take their mentee group and just go as a group so it won't be as intimidating in the beginning, and so that connection can build off of those events that go. But they are exclusive events for all of our students. Other students don't have access to these events, and they tend to be smaller crowds. So if we do have special guests, those students will have really exclusive attention and opportunity to ask questions if they need to, instead of going to a bigger structured event. So new this upcoming academic year, Galileo and Hypatia Living and Learning Program students will automatically be assigned a peer mentor and mentee group through the peer mentoring program. So it is part of that living and learning community in itself. A registration form will be sent out to students while they are completing their housing contracts and their registration. This registration honestly is a very simple registration and asks for your demographics. So your first name, last name, your Virginia Tech email, all of those things. Where are you living? If you're a Galileo or Hypatia student or a DiGirardi student. And then from there, we'll ask you some personal questions like general interest. So if you, let's say if you're more of an outdoorsy person instead of an indoor person, it will ask you all of that. It will ask you some personality questions as well. And it will ask you your growth areas and your intended major or majors within the College of Engineering. We will use all of that information in order for you to be put into and grouped into your mentee mentor groups for the year. Again, this registration will go out. Our hope is for it to go out on actually this Friday, if not Monday of next week, and everybody will have a month to complete that. And then hopefully in the beginning of August, you will have your peer mentor contact you either via email through your Virginia Tech email or via a text or a phone call to check up on you and make sure that everything is good and you have everything prepared. And then for our general College of Engineering students, so those students that are not in Galileo or Hypatia Living and Learning Program, you will be able to just opt in using the same registration form. And that email again will either go out this Friday coming up, or if not, next Monday coming up. So just make sure to always look at your Virginia Tech email because that is where we communicate with you. I do like to go over some of the events that we have just so you can at least get a quick view of what is in store if you do become part of the peer mentoring program. Our first event that you will go to is actually the weekend before you go to classes, and that's OSHO, or what we call Seed Opportunity Show. And that event is about 60 engineering organizations. It is open for only of those SEED students, so those students that participate in any program within SEED. This gives you an opportunity to get involved before classes start, or to actually get to know people in design teams and engineering organizations, maybe some fraternities and sororities that are there, or just in general for you to get to meet your peer mentor in person. and or your peers or other colleagues that you might have. And again, it's only available for SEED students that participate in our programming. Another event that I talked about is our Expo Prep events. This year it's going to look a little different, but it usually does happen 1 to 2 weeks before the Engineering Expo Career Fair that we have here. I know first year students, it might seem a little bit intimidating, but we like to make sure that we prepare all of our students. So this Expo Prep event is not only for first years, it's also for your peer mentors. A lot of peer mentors take full advantage of these events that we have, as well as our first years. And I really do like to encourage first year students that even if they're not looking or they don't feel as prepared for an engineering expo, for them to just go and attend maybe with their mentor and observe what their mentor is doing. So then you can feel a little bit confident and more confident once you go into career fairs, maybe that spring semester or your sophomore year. It is a 2-night event, and it is led by an industry or a company partner that we have. And we even do resume and elevator speech workshops. So usually the workshop is how to create an elevator speech, and then making sure that you have everything that you need for resumes. And this year we are wanting to do resume reviews and elevator speech mock interviews as well. Another more social but major intended event is Major Scoop. Within this, it's usually scheduled mid-semester. Mentees do have an opportunity to talk to various majors. So essentially it's a major fair. This will be honestly maybe the last opportunity that you have before you really choose your intended major or continue the track of your intended major. So we essentially always have all of the College of Engineering majors represented. And then we also even have a booth for SEED. So we have a booth that talks about other opportunities and other programs that exist that support you as a student. We also have graduate students that have a table where they talk about their graduate opportunities. And if that's something that you already know you want to go into, you can talk to graduate students and see what they're going through and the research that they're doing. But essentially, it is one of the last opportunities where first year students have to ask direct questions to representatives or other students within those majors. And all of that, the reason why we do call it Major Scoop is because we also provide some ice cream. So a lot of students really do like that aspect of free ice cream while they're also exploring majors. And then these are just some of the pictures that we had actually this past year, where we asked mentors to take and document pictures of when they go out with their mentee groups. As you can tell, these are not just pictures of them studying together. You can see that these pictures are very genuine and they go out to local ice cream shops like Sugar Magnolias. And then they even go out to the arcade and bowling alleys that we do have here on Virginia Tech's campus. We even have hiking walks to the Cascades, which is really, really fun. A lot of students really enjoy that aspect. And then we even sometimes host social nights where we bring in some of the mentors and some of the mentees where they can, if they want to study, they can study together. But if they don't and they just want to have a relaxed time, we bring in some board games, some card games, or maybe some coloring and just have a stress-free, relaxed environment where they can all hang out together. And these are just some more pictures. They even do outings to basketball games, baseball games, softball games. Some mentors even go all the way to the aspect of showing them how to use our bus system, which is really good because sometimes it does become a little bit confusing for first year students. So they do really help them not only on the academic side, but also on the personal side, just to make sure they're successful their 4 years here at Virginia Tech. Some benefits of the program. So opportunity for professional development on a personal level, opportunities for academic support, additional to all the resources that you already have, advice from successful mentors, learning the ins and outs of college, and then it paves a way of creating lifelong friendships. I know a lot of my new mentors that are coming in this year, the only reason they're coming back is because they had a really good mentor. So now as mentees, their first year, now they're coming back as peer mentors, which is a really full circle for them. We are located in Gilbert Place. It's not as new as it used to be, but being part of the peer mentoring program, you have access to our office. We have study spaces, study lounges, meeting areas there, and then you also even have access to my office, where if you have a question or you need something or you need additional support, you can always make an appointment with me and we can meet one-on-one. It's not only your peer mentor that has your back, it's also me and other seat staff that we have. So how can you become part of the peer mentoring program? Of course, you can go through our SEED website. That's a QR code. Hopefully it still works on there. Last time I used it, it did work, but if it doesn't, let me know. And then just waiting on the email of what we send to Virginia Tech emails. And this email is sent to all accepted College of Engineering students that accepted their acceptance letter, essentially. So all enrolled and accepted students. If you're a Galileo and Hypatia student, again, I just want to reiterate, this is a requirement of your Living and Learning program. But if you're a general COE student, then that is perfectly fine. You can opt in or opt out of the program in itself. If you do have any additional questions, maybe after this meeting, you can always email me. My email is right on there, and I can also share it in the chat if need be, Marlena. But I believe that is the end of my presentation. Does anybody have any questions? Think I see anything in the chat. Let me see. Oh, we do have one question, which it says and asks, are meetings typically in the evenings? That is a really good question, because this is a number one question that I do get from first year students. And actually that really depends. Usually they tend to be in the evenings from what I have heard from my peer mentors. But what I really try to tell my peer mentors is that once they meet with all of their mentees as a group, which hopefully it's before classes start, they kind of survey their students or their mentees and see what works best for that group. There is not an assigned day. So for example, I'm not going to make everybody meet on a Wednesday at 6 p.m. because I know that won't work for everybody. There could be some students that have classes at that time, have something else at that time. So I usually leave that up to the peer mentor so it can be as flexible as possible. But I would say, Monica, usually they do happen in the evenings, but it really just depends on the students and their schedules within that group. So I really do try to be as flexible as possible. You are welcome. Any other questions? And I'm going to go back one just to make sure that everybody has my email. Alrighty, well, Marlena, I don't know if they have any more questions, but if not, I think I am done.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And thanks for doing this session as part of our virtual academic advising and course registration process here in the College of Engineering. We'll post this recording on our orientation website. But if you do have a few additional questions, feel free to pop those in. But I will end the recording now, and then we'll kind of hang out and see if anybody else has any additional questions for us.
Thank you.